Woo!
There you go. One more. Other side. 3 shots.
How are you liking Los Angeles and the weather compared to Russia right now?
Как тебе в Лос-Анджелесе погодка нравится по сравнению с тем, что в России сейчас?
Ну, сейчас у нас дома по сезону зима, холодно, мороз. Вот, ну, я люблю любую погоду, да, немножко здесь гораздо теплее.
Yeah, at home, according to the season, it's really winter, pretty cold, right? But here it's much warmer, but yeah, I like this weather.
You can get a tan?
Загар хочешь получить?
Ну, я быстро на солнце загораю, но нет, возможности нет.
But actually, yeah, I usually get that tan pretty fast. But until this very moment, I didn't have any opportunity actually to spend some time, to get the tan.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah. I mean, if we're sitting here, I'm fighting one of the greatest heavyweights of all time in a Grand Prix style tournament in the finals for the heavyweight championship and the potential to be 2 division champion. So it's big. It's definitely big. What I tried not to do is put Fedor on a pedestal. That doesn't mean I don't respect him at all. I respect him tremendously. But I try not to put him up there. I try to look at this as it's any other fight, and he has his strengths and weaknesses just like any other fighter. It'll be surreal afterwards, but I look across the cage and I see Fedor of right now, of January 26, 2019 Fedor. That's who I'm looking at. Just another fighter that is trying to take the heavyweight championship, belt out of my hands, and I want to go out there and become that 2 division champion, become the heavyweight champ. But big fight for sure.
What do you see as some of the tougher things about Corrales? Obviously, he's got heavy hands. He's a very tough, durable guy. What do you think his strengths are?
Just like you said it perfect. He's a very, very tough guy. Pretty good everywhere. He's a pretty solid guy. So, yeah, he's got and most of all, a lot of his victories have come by just him out working his opponents. So it'll be interesting to see because obviously I put a lot of time in strength and conditioning, and that's an asset of mine that I really like going into a fight. So we'll have to see. But I know my skills are better than his. The wrestling, the boxing. Just go out there, relax, have fun, and do what I do like I've been doing.
Is there anything to be learned from some of your peers in pro wrestling who have made the move over to mixed martial arts? Anything that you've seen in their fights that you can kind of do things differently or do things the same?
The main thing I take away from it is you can't be afraid to get punched in the face in camp. You see that with Brock, you see that with Punk. They didn't want to get punched in the face. I needed it. I needed to learn how to react to it and see how my body is going to have the instincts to react in that moment. So that's the main thing I took from it. And at the same time, those other guys, they shied away from their pro wrestling background, I feel like, where I'm embracing it. This is who I am. And, dude, I love it, What's not to like?
Fighting.
168.4.
It's not the size of the man in the fight, it's the man and the size of the dog. Remember that.
At the weigh-ins, you made a point. You made a point to tell us that something about it's not the size of the man in the fight. Can you elaborate on that? What you're talking about?
It's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the man in the fight of the dog. So remember that. I got another one too. Okay, you know what I mean. You try to take this bacon, you're gonna feel these hogs. I'm all about protecting the bacon. You know what? You got to have a couple of drinks, man. Really sit down, maybe cut some weight. Cut 11 pounds, and then sit there, be like, that should make sense. It's just like, man, a wolf on a chain ain't nothing but a dog, right? Try to take this bacon, you're gonna feel these hogs. It is what it is.
You said he was. Hey Jake, how did it feel in there first time? I mean, was it comparable to being in a WWE ring? Like, what was just the feeling when you entered into the cage and there, you know?
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun. I felt like I was going to worry about people looking at me a little bit, and that was going to affect my game plan or whatnot. But my team, my coaches did a great job beforehand. I felt very focused. I felt zeroed in on my opponent. And when I went out there, it was almost like quiet to me. And so that was surprising, because usually with a wrestling match, you're trying to remember every single super kick that you have to do.
Aaron, obviously you cracked him with that big shot. Did you feel like you were going to be able to put him away, and that's why you stayed in the pocket?
Yeah, I thought, that's just me being young. I felt I was just going to hit him again, but that's where Henry's good. That's where we knew that we need to stay out of that position. He likes to be in the clinch and kind of throw those bombs, those uppercuts, but it's a learning process. And but yeah, I thought I was going to knock him out.
Now, obviously, we're in LA. We could see that it's a tough night. You didn't have to come out here and talk to us. Can you talk about your decision to come out here and give us your time, which we're thankful for?
No, I mean, that's just what you do. I mean, you guys are. It feels good when you win. You guys are always. The media is always here when you win, and you got to show your respect. You know, you can't just be wanting to come out and when everything is good. When shit hits the fan, you know, you got to be a man. And like I always say, you got to put your suit on and go face the media. That's just what you do.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to ask this question, honestly, because like you mentioned, you were potentially moments away from winning this fight. So you can't say that this was not a fight that should have been made. Obviously, you were very competitive in it and you had a chance to win it. But I did see like Eddie Alvarez on social media mentioned something, and he said, when you're 22 years old and you're taking a shot like that, it's just tough to see, you know, because you are still developing. So I guess what I'm asking you is, you mentioned top 5 and that you want to face those challenges, and I can tell that you're a competitive guy. But do you think that there's a possibility that you are doing a disservice by facing a guy who's having his 20th fight tonight?
Yeah, we'll see. I will see. But Eddie Alvarez, how many times has he been knocked down every fight? So that guy, I get what he's saying, but yeah, I don't know. I wish I can give you a clear answer. Maybe it is. I have to sit down with my family and figure out, do we take lesser opponents? Okay, give me a lesser opponents, because there's gonna be a hefty hospital bill, because I will really fucking hurt somebody bad. That's really not that's for me personally. They always ask, I'll hurt somebody that's won in the same record as me, 4-1. I will literally hurt them. But that's okay. If I need to do that and take, 5 fights and guys that are the same records, give me the same guys. Now give me the guys that are my record. Watch what happens. It's not going to be pretty, but it is what it is. It would just be collecting paychecks. It'll be good. So yeah, you might be right about that. Just get some guys with the same experience as me, but just watch what happens.
What are
Can you pinpoint what exactly it is that has changed in you since you've been at the lab for the last 5 fights?
Turning 30, getting older, and when I first started fighting, I came to martial arts from the dark arts. You know what I mean? Not like too crazy, but I was just undisciplined, dude. I chased novelty, dude. All I want to do is have fun with my friends and just be. I had no direction, and since I started training, like, I'm still new to the sport, 9 years ago. I haven't been in trouble, and you hear a lot of guys say it, and I know what they mean now. And martial arts really changes your life, dude, because it extracts so much out of you, so much discipline, and just the whole team environment and everything. Like, it's rich, dude. I love it, man. I'm just so grateful for all this.
You said earlier that the fight almost paralleled your life a little bit, where you put yourself in some bad spots. And what bad spots were you in at some point, and how did you battle back from those in your life?
Dude, stupid stuff. Not even cool stuff, like I was getting in shootouts and like being a crazy gangster. Dude, I'll tell you one. Not like when I was a teenager, I was walking down the street with the skateboard, and some like cholos, some gangster dudes. Like, the sun was in my eyes, dude, and I was like squinting. And they're like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I must have had like an ugly face on. And I was like, oh, the sun's in my eyes. But then as soon as I said that, I felt like such a bitch for saying that. I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck you, dude. I was like, what's up? And I ended up getting stabbed, you know. But I had a skateboard, so I defended myself really well. And I'll leave it there because I don't want to incriminate myself.
So skateboards beat knives is what you're...
Hey, it did that day.
I mean, was it a bad injury? I mean...
Nah, just a little nick, dude. A little, not a big deal.
All right.
Yeah.
I kind of want to hear that story
There's
too.
too many of them, dude. Dude, I promised my mom. She's like, dude, don't start telling your stories. Like, she's like, you're past that now. You know, move on. Don't talk about it. I'm like.
So he throws. You can't see his right hand because he throws from his hip. You know, he's very hard to see. He throws hard, but in doing so, you leave yourself exposed. And we felt that he was going to respect my wrestling a lot, and I could put one up top. And if you look through any of the footage on, you know, the ones that didn't get played, but on the countdown shows and all that kind of stuff, we were practicing that punch the whole time, throwing a jab, you know, getting our distance. And then feinting and throwing that left hook, and we knew he'd be there. And it just, you know, that's a hard punch right there. You know, he went down, and I saw that over and over again already, so it just kind of played out how we saw it.
The left that you hit with Fedor, was that the same one that you landed on Mo that knocked him out?
Yeah, more or less. This one I had to go out and kind of reach him a little bit because Fedor kind of has that stance where he's kind of straight up, kind of hopping. He's a little back. With Mo, he's always ducking his head to the side with his hands down. So we were setting up a little high kick or a left hook with him. But with Fedor, you know, Fedor waits and tries to time you, and I was trying to time him because I knew he was timing me. You know, and he's trying to throw a right hand. And that's when I kind of, you know, he had to respect my wrestling. So I think him looking at my fight with Matt, he's like, he's going to come out here and just try to take me down right away, trying to get me tired, you know. So I wanted to use that to my advantage, give a little feint, and let him run into that left hook. And you know, if you look at kind of the picture, it's almost straightened out like that. So hit him hard, and we practiced that a lot.
Did you get punched one time in this tournament?
I don't think so.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, Matt might have. I don't remember get punched on the feet. You know, it might be one of those things on the ground or something. But yeah, I didn't. You know, not in the first two fights at all. Then with Matt, I mean, if he got me on the bottom or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, looking back, in the fight before that, didn't get hit. You know, then we go to the Phil Davis fight, which is, I think there's like 4 punches total in that.
On Twitter, Tito Ortiz said that he wants to come back and fight Chael Sonnen and then fight you again. Would you have any interest in having that fight back, that rematch with Tito Ortiz?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah?
After I won the title, I was bugging him. He was at the bar. We were both there, and I was like, "Hey, you coming back? You coming back?" He's like, "I'm done, man. I'm done." So yeah, I mean that'd be fun. You know, he has to come back and definitely prove himself, and obviously that's, you know, a fight I don't dwell on, but fight I want to get back. You know, all my losses, but it'd be a fun fight.